At just 12 years old, Amina had endured more suffering than most could imagine. Born on the unforgiving streets of Nairobi, Kenya, to a mother lost in the fog of mental illness, Amina knew no father, no home, and no one to champion her future.
What if I told you that you could earn $50 or more on YouTube without showing your face, recording a single video, or even owning a camera? Today, I am revealing my step-by-step method to turning trending YouTube videos into your own cash-generating content, all 100% legal and AI-powered.
Welcome back to UC Heaven, your go-to channel for crypto growth, AI content hacks, and online income strategies that actually work. If you are ready to work smarter instead of harder, this is the video you have been waiting for.
So the first thing we're going to do is to find viral YouTube videos, okay, the smart way. And for this, we're going to head to YouTube, okay? And once we head to YouTube, I'm going to be showing you how we can find the video which is going viral, okay? So quickly, I'm here on my screen on YouTube. And what we need to do is to find a video that's going viral, remember. So what I'm going to do is quickly just to go to the search. And for my own case, I basically want to search African folktale stories, okay? So we're just going to hit the search, okay? And it's going to give us some search results, which are, okay, African folktale stories that are going viral, okay? So once this is open, the first thing you want to do is to quickly look by the side where it says filters, okay? So all we are going to do in this case is to tap on filters, and then you're going to see where it says sort by, and under sort by, you're also going to go down and tap on view count, okay? Now, when we tap on view count, what we're trying to do is to find the videos that are trending based on views, okay? So we're going to check which video is having the highest view. So YouTube is going to place this in a hierarchy of the highest view and then to the lowest view. So when you tap on view count, okay, so it's going to, you're going to see, okay, that video here has 13 million views. This one has 5.5 million views. This one has 4 million views. So it's giving us these videos based on their view count, okay? But because we're searching for trending videos, we're going to look at which videos are trending right now, okay, probably in this week. So all we're going to do is go back to filters, okay, and then we're going to go under upload dates. So you're just going to tap on this week, okay? So once we tap on this week, what this is going to do is, it's not just that it's going to give us videos that are going viral, it's going to filter, okay, all of our previous search results into the videos that are trending in this week, okay? And that gives us relevance in terms of what we want to do, okay? So here you can see, okay, the videos it has given us, okay? So all you need to do, depending on your niche, you're just going to go and search on YouTube and go through this method depending on your need. So for me, I have chosen African folktales, and I am just going to select this first one, okay? It says billionaire sees a homeless girl teaching his daughter, okay? So what I'm going to do is to select that particular video, okay?
Forgot.
And then you can just pause it. Okay, I'll just pause it because of the sound. Okay, we don't need to play the video. We just need to select that video. Okay, and I'm going to be guiding you on what we need to do next.
No father,
okay,
no home.
So the next thing we'll need to do at this stage, okay, all you need to do is just scroll down a bit on that video, and you're going to see where it says more, okay, under the description of the video. So you're just going to tap on more to reveal the video description, okay? Once the description of this video is open, all we want to do is to scroll all down, okay, and until you find where it says transcript. Okay, so once you find where it says transcript, okay, you're also going to see below where it says show transcript. So what we want to do, okay, is to tap on show transcript. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap on show transcript. Okay, so now you can see on the spot, okay, the transcript of that video. Okay, now that the transcript of the video is showing, the next thing we want to do at this stage is for us to use the structure, okay, of this particular video to create a trending video, okay, that's going to have the same title and the same frame of the story. Okay, remember the title of this video is for us to copy YouTube videos and repost it, okay, in order to make money. But we all know YouTube is not going to allow you to copy other people's video and post it. That's going to be against the reuse content policy. Rather, the reuse content policy, you're going to be going against that. And if you copy other people's video directly and post on your channel, you're going to be putting your channel at a risk. Okay, and this can lead to what? It could lead to your channel getting strikes, and when when you get up to 3 strikes, your channel could risk being deleted, okay, from YouTube. So what we are going to do actually is, rather than copy and post other people's video, we are going to be using other methods. Okay, there are so many methods to reuse videos on YouTube, and this is just one of those methods. Okay, so now that we have seen the transcript of this video, okay, you're going to scroll all to the end just for us to take a look. I'm just going to toggle to the end. Okay, if you see there is a 3 dot right here, so all you need to do is tap on that 3 dots, okay, and it's going to show you toggle timestamp. And what this is going to do is, we don't need the timestamp, okay, which is attached to the transcript, so we're just going to say toggle timestamp to pull out, okay, the timestamps, okay, in the video. So I'm just going to tap on toggle timestamp, and you can see that is off. So once you're at this stage, what you want to do is either you leave the screen the way it is, or the next thing you want to do is probably for you to copy it and paste it either in a Word file or some other format, because we are going to be using this transcript in the next, okay, stage. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is to use Grok AI. Okay, Grok AI is just an AI tool that looks like ChatGPT, so you can use it to generate stories. You can also use it to search and get results. So the tool is similar to ChatGPT, DeepSeek AI, okay, so you can use it to rewrite or reimagine stories with unique twists. Okay, so what we're going to do is head over to Google next. Okay, once you go to Google, all you want to do when you get to Google is to tap on Grok. So you can see that here, Grok AI. Okay, so once I tap on Grok AI, you're just going to scroll down. You see the first one, this one that has Grok. Okay, and we're going to select that particular one. Okay, it might prompt you to register, okay, with your email, either Google email or Microsoft email. So all you need to do is go ahead and register. Okay, and once you're done, then we can proceed. Okay, so now we are already in Grok. Okay, so all we want to do here now is to generate the script, or to generate a prompt that we can use to generate images for our stories. Okay, so what we want to do, I already have my prompt, okay, listed right here, and I'm also going to be attaching all of this prompt in the description of this video. So what we want to do is to go, okay, I'll be reading the prompt, don't worry. Okay, so I copy this. So all we want to do is to go to Grok and we'll type, okay, write a story on this topic. What topic? So we're going to go back to the video, okay, remember, on YouTube, and we're going to copy the topic, okay, of this video. So I'm just going to copy the topic, and we're going to go back to Grok, okay, and we're going to paste it. Okay, so what we're telling Grok to do for us is to write, okay, a story on this topic. Okay, then we are going to take the second prompt. The second prompt we are going to be prompting this AI is to say, use the story. Okay, let me copy it first, then I'm going to read it out for us. Okay, so I copy that and I paste it here. So what I'm telling him is to use the story, okay, I provide as a reference. So I'm going to be telling Grok to use the story I'm going to provide as a reference, okay, but change a few details. If the main character is a male, okay, in my story now, I want you to make it a female or vice versa. If the location, okay, is Kenya, I want you to change it to Nigeria or vice versa. Break the story into chapters. Okay, now the next thing is I'm going to paste the transcript. Okay, remember that we have reviewed in the other story, so we're going to go back to YouTube, but if you have copied out yours, that is also fine. So I'm just going to go back to YouTube, okay, and I go back all done, show transcript, okay, and what I'm going to do at this stage is to copy, okay, all of the transcript. So if you see from beginning to the end, it's all highlighted, okay, so I'm going to be copying this transcript, and then we go back to Grok. When we get to Grok, okay, I am going to paste it here, okay. So now I'm telling it break the story into done, okay. The next thing is to let him know, wait, I think there's a line missing, okay. Anyways, I'm just gonna proceed. So I'm telling him that this is the story I want you to use as a reference. Okay, so once you impute that, the next thing we need to do is to paste the transcript from the other story. So what we are doing here is telling him we want you to use this story, okay, from this transcript, okay, as a reference, and we just want to make just a little bit of tweaking of that story here and there, okay. So now the next thing we need to do is you're going to see this icon here, okay, this arrow, you just hit that icon, okay, and Grok is going to, okay, use the same story, okay. So you can see it's processing already, so it's going to use this story to generate, okay, this reference we have given him to generate a story for us, and that story we are going to be using it. So you can see it's already, okay, putting it all together. So you can see it is the same topic, okay, a billionaire's compassion, a tale of hope and transformation. So it has given us that title, and it has broken this down into chapters. So you can see chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6. Okay, I think it's still going. Okay, I think this is chapter 6. Okay, so let us see our results. So now we have 6 chapters, okay, in this story. Okay, so now we are going to put our third prompt. So we go back to our prompt, and the next thing I'm going to ask is how many characters are in the story. So I'm just going to pick that, okay, and we are going to go back to Grok. Let me just minimize this. And so the next thing we want to prompt is to say how many characters are in the stories. And this is because we want to know how many characters are there in the story. And this helps us, you know, to simplify what we want to do. Okay. Just go along with me. You might be wondering what are we doing, but just follow as we go along. It begins to make sense altogether. So I hit that search, okay, and what it's going to do now is it's going to be able to let us know how many characters exist in the story. So you can see it has already given us, okay, 5 characters, okay, which are in the stories, okay, in the story. So you can see the list right there. So the total is 5 characters. Then we're going to go to the next prompt, okay? And this time, what we are going to do is for us to say, let me copy that first. So what we're going to do is to put in this prompt. Give them precise age, hairstyle, facial features, example, nose size, face shape, eye color, etc. Okay, clothing style, and nationality based on the story. So once we input this prompt, it's going to give us, okay, their facial expressions, their looks, okay, based on the story. Okay, so I'm gonna hit that arrow right there, okay, and Grok, it's going to take a few minutes as well to process this, and then it's going to give us this, their dress code, their nationality, facial expression. Remember, already in the beginning, we already said the story should be tweaked, okay, based on certain features. So now you can see the search result, okay, of the character. So you can see Amina, age 12 years old, okay, explicitly stated in the story. So you can see the hairstyle, the facial features, okay, and other features, okay, the clothing, and then the nationality, okay. So you can see all of that for the 5 characters in the story, okay. Now that we are done with this, the next thing we need to do is to go to our next prompt, okay. And this time, what we are going to be doing is to tell Grok that we want him to turn them into active descriptive prompts suitable for a free AI image generator without violating any policies. Now, what I want to do is to say that he should turn, okay, all of these details that he has given us for all the characters into a script that we can use to generate an image without violating any policies, okay. Then we're going to hit that prompt, okay. While this is processing, I'll just copy the next prompt, which is our last, okay, prompt. So, okay, that is copied. So the next thing, we're just going to wait for Grok for some few minutes, okay. Don't worry, just go along with me. It's all going to make sense at the end of the day. So now you can see that it has turned, okay, all of this into a prompt, okay. Remember what we had before, okay. For each character, it has given us, for example, for Sarah, it has given us their age, their hairstyle, their facial features, okay, as well as other features, clothing style, and nationality. So in this case, you can see, okay, it has turned this into a prompt, and we can utilize that prompt to generate, okay, an image. So the next thing we're going to do is to input our final prompt, okay. And this time, what we are going to be doing is to say, replace character names with their descriptive prompts, okay, and ensure every chapter has one unique image prompt for paragraph 1, okay. Keep characters visual consistent across all chapters. So what we want to do in this case is to generate a prompt that we can use to generate image, okay. And we want to generate, for each chapter, we want to have one image. For example, where we have Beatrice, okay, based on this prompt, we're just going to have one image only, okay. So what we want to do at this stage now is to hit on this, okay, and it's going to generate a prompt that we can use to generate the images, okay. So this is just going to take a few minutes, okay, and it is going to generate the prompt for us, okay. Okay, so you can see this is all coming together. So you can see chapter 1, okay, it has given us a detailed prompt, okay, for chapter 1. So you can see a detailed prompt for chapter 2. You can see all there. Okay, it's still coming. So it's still loading. It's going to go all through and it will give us the entire prompt for the 5 chapters. Okay, so you can see chapter 3. It's still coming. So you can see chapter 4. Okay, I think we have only 5 photos, so it will give us chapter 5 because we have 5 characters in the story. So I think it's not going to exceed 5 chapters. So this is chapter 5. Yeah, and I think this is the end. Okay, so you can see all of the prompt that is generated. So you can see detailed prompt and how detailed each individual prompt is for each of the chapters. Okay, so now that we are done generating the prompt, we're just going to go over to another AI tool to generate our voice over. Okay, so now for the voiceover, we're going to be using a tool called Clipchamp. Okay, all you need to do is just go to Google. I just do back here. Just go to Google and you just type Clipchamp. Okay, or you can say Clipchamp AI, whichever one. So when it opens, you're going to see this one. Okay, the first one is an ad, so we're going to select the second one that says Clipchamp. Okay, so when you tap on it, it's just basically going to open like this. So the next thing we want to do is, it might prompt you to register. So all you want to do is go ahead and register. Okay, another information I want to give you is Clipchamp is moving away from the use of Gmail to Microsoft email, but currently the Gmail is still going through. So if you're going to do this, you might, if you want to use Clipchamp for a long time, so you might want to basically open a Microsoft mail account. That will be more better for you. Okay, so the next thing we want to do right now is to generate the voiceover that we're going to be using for our story. Okay, so once the Clipchamp is open and you're done setting up in terms of doing your registration, all you want to do is to tap on record and create and then scroll all down to where it says text to speech. Okay, then you tap on text to speech. Okay, once you tap on text to speech, you're going to see that this particular platform has very good text to speech models. Okay, and there are some settings that we need to do. Okay, for example, if we go back to our story, you're just going to see all the nationalities is making use of Kenyan. So what we're going to do when we go to Clipchamp is to go to here where it says language and ensure we're selecting Kenya. Okay, so you can see English, Kenya. Okay, if you toggle on that, you're going to see different languages. Okay, if it's Nigerian, you're also going to see Nigerian. Okay, and you're going to see Nigeria English, so you're going to select that. So for our story is Kenya, so I'm going to select Kenya. Then we're going to select which voice we want to use. So Clipchamp basically has only 2 voice models, which is a male and a female. Okay, so you can select any one of these depending on your preference. So for me, I'm going to be selecting the female voice, which is Asilia. Okay, then you can also go to advanced. Okay, when you go to advanced, you want to set the pitch. Okay, so the pitch here by default, you can see it's in default. I don't want to set it if it is high, medium, or low, but rather what I will do, I will come under pace. Okay, it's on 1x. I'm just going to take it back 1 step. Okay, if the pace is not good enough, when we go to the editing app, I can increase the pace while I'm editing my videos. Okay, then the next thing we want to do is to impute our text. So what we need to do right now to impute our text is to go back to Grok, and scroll all the way up. Okay, remember when we added the first prompt, okay, and we requested it to give us a story, right? So this is characters, sorry, this is our prompt. So this is the first story, okay? So it is the first prompt where it gave us a story that you will use to generate the voiceovers. So I'm just going to select this one right here, okay, and I copy that. Then we're going to go to Clipchamp and I'm going to paste my text right in here, okay? So now that I paste my text right in there, okay, if you see at the top corner here where it says untitled video, okay, we want to make sure we just go there and say one. I'm just going to put one, which is representing chapter 1, okay, so that when we start editing, there's not going to be any confusion. You should understand which of the voice overs, okay, fits in where, okay. So now I selected one. All I'm going to do is, you see where it says save below, preview and save. So if you want to preview, if you tap on preview, it's going to read everything on the screen, okay, everything you have typed, okay, for us.
At just 12 years old, Amina
So
had more suffering.
you can see that, okay, so it's going to read the prompt for us, okay, but this is going to elongate our video, okay. But if you're doing it, you could go through that, okay, and see if the voice is unique and what you want, okay. So you can toggle through both voices and see if this is really what you want. So but once you're okay and you're good to go, all you need to do is to tap on save, okay. If you tap on save, it's just going to save that, okay, and then we're just going to export, okay. So you can tap on export and then you can select, okay, the quality of this video, okay. I don't want this to take so long to download, so I'm just going to take 1080p, okay. Once you select that, remember we already saved it as 1, and you can see, okay, that our voiceover is already being generated. So once the voice is done being generated, okay, we are going to go through the same process for all of the 5 chapters, as you can see in our story, okay. But we cannot generate concurrently, so I'm going to wait for this to be done, and then I'm going to move over to the second story, okay. So it's almost done. You can see, okay, so you can see it is done and it is saved into our computer, okay. If I go to my downloads, okay, you can see there, made number 1, made with Clipchamp, okay. So that is the one we have generated, okay. So all we need to do is just, you can either tap on home or you tap on keep editing to bring us back here. What I usually do is basically just to tap on this and delete it, okay. Once you delete, it just gives me a fresh page. I go back to text to speech, okay. My settings are still the same. That's one good thing when I delete, okay. I don't want to start all the same all again. So we'll now go back again to our story, and then we go to chapter 2 and copy all of that, okay. And then we copy this, then we come back to Clipchamp and we paste our text inside, okay. Like I said, if you want to preview, you tap on preview, otherwise you just hit on save, okay. Once I hit on save, one thing I just want to go back to the page and just move it back 1 step like we did in the order, okay. Then the next thing, we hit export, select, okay, the quality of our video, and then it's already generating, okay. So one more information I just want to make clear is, once you're generating this, remember this is a video editing tool we're using. So what it's doing is it's generating all of these voices for us in a video format, okay. But once we get to the editing app, we are going to convert, we're going to extract that voice, okay, because that's basically what we need. So we're going to extract the voice and utilize it, okay, during the editing process, okay. So once this is done, we're going to quickly move to the next step, okay, and start generating the images for this scene, okay. And at the end, you're going to see how this all gets together. So for now, I'm just going to generate only these two voiceovers. Okay, at the end of this video, I'm going to play the complete script video for you, so you can see the final outcome, okay, of the entire process. Okay, and this is almost done. I'm just going to wait for a few seconds for this particular downloads to be complete. Okay, yeah, so now it's done downloading. Okay, I'm not going to generate more, but for you, you have to do that for all of the chapters of your story. Okay, so the next thing I want to do right now is to head back to, I'm just going to close it, to head back to Grok. Okay, and then we're going to go to the last prompt. Remember, we're generating the story, the voice from the first prompt. Okay, so now we're going to go to the last prompt result it gave us. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this is the last prompt, okay, where we have requested it to generate a prompt, okay, for us to be able to use in an AI image generator to generate images for each chapter. Okay, so the tool we are going to be using for this is Dreamina AI. So all we want to do is to go back to Grok, okay, again, and then you're going to see the last prompt we generated, requesting Grok to generate a prompt for us to generate images for each chapter. So we're going to open up that prompt again, okay, and all we want to do is to copy the first prompt. Okay, so we go to number 1 and copy the entire prompt, okay, in number 1. Now this prompt is it's very long, I cannot read it out. However, you follow the same process, you're going to get this result. Okay, so all we want to do is copy this, and then we head over to Dreamina AI. Okay, and you head to explore, and to explore you're going to see AI image, and once you get there, all we want to do is to paste our prompt. Okay, and then we have to select the aspect ratio, which is 16:9. Okay, and what you want to do is to hit on this. So you can see it's on 0, which means it's not going to charge us. Okay, so I hit on that prompt. Okay, you can see our images are already being generated using Dreamina AI. So it's just going to take a few minutes and our images will be ready. Okay, now we're going to follow this same process for all of our prompts. So you can see our image right there. Okay, I just tap on one of it, so you can see, okay, that particular image right there. Okay, so you can see also the second one. You can see, so it's giving us 4 images at a time, and you can also see the 5th one. Okay, so all we want to do is, for each of this image, I'm just going to toggle back. If you place your mouse at the top, you're going to see a download button. Okay, I think I like the last one. I'm going to save that. Okay, and then I'm also going to save the first one, and I think also I want to save the 3rd one. Okay, anyways, let me save the 4 photos. If you're not okay with the images, all you need to do is go back here and tap on regenerate. Okay, and it's going to regenerate, okay, another image for us. Okay, the next thing we want to do now is to go back to Grok's AI. Okay, and we are going to go back to the 2nd chapter and copy the entire prompt. So you can see this prompt actually is extremely long. Back to Dreamina AI. Okay, so let's see if the 2nd photos are ready. So you can see a slight difference, okay, in the image we have now from the previous one. Okay, so if I toggle through, you can see the changes, okay, in the images that we have generated. Okay, so I'm going to remove this, and then we can just download a couple of these images also and just keep it aside. Okay, so I just took 2 of those images. The next thing is for us to insert the next script. So I'm just going to pull out all of this and insert the next script, and we're just going to hit on that button to generate, okay, the second images. So this is generating. We're waiting for it to process. Okay, so it's just going to take a few minutes for it to process. So I'm not going to generate all the images because, okay, it's going to take us a longer time. But while you're doing your own video, okay, you have to generate the images for the 5 chapters. So now you can see our second image is out and ready. So you can see our images, okay, already generated from Gemini AI. Okay, this is looking beautiful. This African folktale story is going to come, you know, it's going to make all sense. So I'm just going to toggle back and let us download these images, okay, to our system. So I am downloading this 4 images already downloaded. Okay, so now we are done, okay, downloading our image. So our voiceover is ready, okay, and we have part of our script is ready. To put all of this together, we're going to go to the final lab, which is going to CapCut to edit, okay, our script, okay, to edit our work and then turn it into the final product. This step is going to blow your mind how it's going to come out, okay, in the edit. So now we're going to head over to CapCut. Okay, so once you go to Google and open CapCut, you're just going to select the first one. So this is going to take a little while to process. So now CapCut is open on our screen, and all we want to do at this stage is to start editing our videos. Okay, so all we want to do is to tap on new, okay, and select 16:9, okay, which is the aspect ratio we want to edit our video on. Okay, so select 16:9 and allow that, okay, to process in few minutes. Okay, so once this process is done, the first thing we need to do is to go and import our voiceover. So we're going to import all the media that we require, okay, for this particular, okay, video editing. Okay, so once it is done, we're just going to go right there. Okay, we'll give it a few minutes to round up. We'll just go right up there, okay, to download our media. Meanwhile, if I go to my desktop, okay, you can see the photos that we already downloaded, okay, that we need to use for this. So you can see the photos here already, okay, as well as our audio. Remember, the audio, only 2 audios we downloaded. Okay, so we can see everything is right there. Okay, so over to CapCut, we're just going to tap on upload file, okay, and then I'm just going to select the clip champ 1 and 2, okay, and say open. So we're going to import that media into CapCut. Okay, okay, remember the second clip, I forgot to actually label it number 2, so it's giving us number 1. Okay, but if I place my mouse, you're going to see this is giving us, okay, 1 1, okay, in bracket, and this is giving us 1 2. So the one that is having 1 and 2 in bracket is the second clip. Okay, so all I'm going to do is to tap on the first one to import, okay, the first clip. Okay, and then we're also going to hit on the second one to import the second clip. Okay, for those of you who are using your mobile smartphones, okay, for video editing, whatever I'm doing here can as well be done on the mobile. Okay, so I'm just going to play, okay, what we have, so you can see.
At just 12 years old, Amina
So
had
you can see that.
endured
So
more
remember, I
suffering.
told you earlier that, okay, Clipchamp is a video editing app. So the voiceover has been generated in a video format. So all we want to do is to extract the audio. So you're just going to tap on each of this video. You right click and you're going to see separate audio. Okay. And you just tap on that. It's going to separate the audio. Okay. We do that for the second clip. Okay. And separate audio. Okay. You can as well just highlight both clips together and remove this. Okay. And so we're just going to delete that particular file. Okay, so now we only have our audio. Okay, if I play that, you can also see. So you can see our audio is still intact. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is to go back to import the media. Okay, for our photos. Okay, so I'm just going to go hit on media, file. Okay. So in the order in which I have uploaded this, so you can see my first clip, second clip, third clip, fourth clip, okay, fifth and sixth. All of these belong to the first. So I'm going to import all of them at the same time, all together. Okay. So now that is done, I'm just going to drag, okay, my first clip into the slide. Okay, and you want to just increase this a bit. Okay. So what do we need to do at this stage? Okay, if I play that.
At just 12 years old, Amina had endured more suffering than most could imagine.
Okay, so what we need to do is to look at, okay, the expressions, what is generated in our images and what the story is saying. Okay, what is being said in the story. So what we are going to be doing is to merge the images, okay, based on what the story is saying. So where this story is highlighting a particular information about Amina. So we're going to look at which of the images, okay, is giving us the description of what our voice is saying. And then we're going to place that particular image on that spot in CapCut, okay? So if you're not clear on how to do this, all you need to do, another way to do it is to go back to your script, okay, in Grok, okay? We can go back all to the first script, and you're going to do this also by reading your script, okay? So you're going to look at this. At 12 years old, Amina had endured more suffering, okay, than most could imagine. Born, on the unforgiving streets of Nairobi, Kenya, to a mother lost in the fog of mental illness. So you're going to read that story and see, kind of imagine the expressions, okay, of this story in that images. Okay, so we're going to go back to CapCut. Okay, so once you're able to do that, all you need to do is place those images side by side. Okay, so remember, you're going to follow the description I told you. Based on what the story is saying, you're going to watch your image and you're going to, okay, merge it. So for this, I generated about 6 images and I just want to infuse all my images, okay, into this particular chapter, which is chapter 1. Okay. So I'm just going to drag it like that. Okay. So you can see, that. So I have one more photo and I'm going to use this one. So once you insert all of your photos, ensure, okay, it's ending where chapter 1 ends. So we're just going to play that for you to see.
At just 12 years old, Amina had endured more suffering than most could imagine. Born on the unforgiving streets of Nairobi, Kenya, to a mother lost in the fog of mental illness, Amina knew no father, and no one to champion her future.
So you see, it's all coming together. I told you that by the time we are done, you're going to see it coming together. Okay, and if you follow the same process, you're going to generate African folktale stories that are super, super good. Okay, so all we want to do is come back, okay, and then we're going to move to chapter 2, and then we are going to import the images which we generated, okay, for chapter 2. Okay, so the last 4 photos we have generated for chapter 2, so I'm just going to import those photos into CapCut, and here our photos are ready. Okay, for the purpose of time, okay, when you're editing you can follow all of that process I have told you, but for now I'm just going to match these 4 photos to fit into my frame. Okay, so photo number 2 is there. Okay, so just want this to fit into the second chapter, so we go to, this is number 2, so we'll go to photo number 3. Okay, and then we go to the last one, which is photo number 4. So I'm just going to move it all to the end. Okay, so you can see all of that is coming together, right? So let's play from chapter 2 a little bit.
One sweltering afternoon, as Amina sat beside her mother near a busy food stall, her stomach
So you can
knotted
see
with
it
hunger.
says Amina sat beside her mother close to the food shop. So this particular image is not giving the description of what the voice is saying. Okay, but you can also see that this particular image is giving that description. Amina sat beside her mother, right? So what we're going to do is to move this particular image, okay, and place it on that spot. Okay, so now we have it. This is what I was explaining at the initial stage. So you're going to listen to the voice and place the images where it fits in based on the description given on the voice itself. Okay, so you see it makes sense now. Amina sat beside her mother close to the food shop.
A woman named Mama Grace, who ran a small eatery, noticed her. Unlike others,
So here
her
it talked
gaze held
about the woman in the shop noticed her, right? So I'm going to toggle to the next. You can see the woman noticed her. So you can see the woman looking directly on Amina and her mother. Okay, so what I'm going to do while I am playing this,
who ran a small eatery,
so where it
noticed
says
her.
the woman noticed her, I'm going to drag this all back, okay, so that, and then I'm going to drag that clip. Sorry, I'm looking for that. So this is the clip where the woman noticed her. So I'm going to drag that clip forward, okay, so that when the voice talks about that,
A woman named Mama Grace, who ran a small
so we're going to
eatery.
bring it back a little bit where it says a woman, Mama Grace. Okay, so let's play that one more time so you get what I'm saying.
Afternoon, as Amina sat beside her mother near a busy food stall, her stomach knotted with hunger. A woman named Mama
So you see that?
Grace, who ran a small eatery, noticed her. Unlike others, her gaze held no pity, only curiosity. What's your name, child? She asked softly. Amina,
So the same way, okay, it says the woman asks what's your name. So you can see the woman having an interaction with them, okay, and you can see on this particular case there is no interaction with the woman itself. So what we are going to do is to come back and bring this photo, which is more relevant based on our story, forward. Okay, so we are going to keep listening to the voice and adjusting, okay, images. If the images are not enough, all you need to do is go back to Clipchamp. Okay, sorry, go back to Dreamer AI rather, okay, and just go to which of the chapters, okay, you want, and just hit on regenerate image. It's going to regenerate, okay, that particular image and give us more context in that story, okay, in the image generation. Okay, so that's just what it's going to do. Right, our image. So it's going to regenerate image and give us more photos. Okay, let's just go back to CapCut because of time. So you're going to put all of this together. Okay, once you're done, you know, setting all your images in the right direction, the next thing you want to do is to add filters, because you see whenever it's moving from one image to the other, you can see how it's moving. Okay, the drop is very sharp. You can see that. So all we want to do is, if you tap in between these two photos, you're going to see transition. So you're just going to tap on transition, okay, and then you're going to select, okay, the transition of your choice. Okay, let's just select something. For example, I just want to select blur, for example.
Strength.
Okay, so you can see what it gives us on the transition. I think it's not applied. Let me play that back. So, but you can look for something that is very smooth. Okay, a transition that will be smooth to move from one to the other. So you can see this is also not very sharp. Okay, so we're going to look for something that's just going to be very smooth. Okay, for us to move from one image to the other. Okay, so let us say this is soft, so I'm going to select that. Okay, and let's see what it gives us this time around. So just going to play that.
Amina agreed eagerly, her heart stirring.
So we're going to see what transition, okay, this transition
Amina
gives
swept
us.
floors and washed dishes, watching Mama Grace's quiet
So you can see this also. So all you want to do is just go to the settings and do
Mama Grace noticed
a little bit of setting on that.
You learned this.
So I'm trying to pause this. So all we want to do is you can go to the settings of that particular transition and make some edit, reduce the speed, make some kind of edit, and then it's just going to be all perfect. Okay, and once this is done, okay, the next thing we want to do is to add text, or probably we can add captions. Okay, so we can go to captions and we can all go to auto captions. Okay, and request it to generate captions. So you see it's generating right now. Okay, so you can see our text is already there, and then we can select the text of our choice. Okay, so for example, remember this is not a finished work. I'm just using this to show you the stuffs, okay, that could be done. Okay, let me leave that. So if we play it, you can see, okay, so you can see our transition is there, but this is not my choice of font and text actually, but just to show us, demonstrate this. Okay, so once you put once you insert your transitions and you insert the text and place all your photos in the right place, okay, all you want to do is to export your video in your favorite format. Okay,
At just 12 years old, Amina had endured more suffering than most could imagine. Born on the unforgiving streets of Nairobi, Kenya, to a mother lost in the fog of mental illness, Amina knew no father, no home, and no one to champion her future. Her brief 2 years in school ended when her only sponsor vanished, leaving her with nothing but her sharp mind and unyielding spirit. Each day, she guided her mother, Zawadi, to a familiar corner near the bustling Ngara market, where they begged for coins amidst insults and scorn. Zawadi, once a woman of beauty in Amina's fleeting memories, now mumbled incoherently, tracing invisible shapes in the dirt. Amina, hardened by the streets, no longer flinched at the cruel names, street rat, daughter of a lunatic, but the pitying glances stung deeper. Yet, beneath her tattered clothes and calloused feet, Amina clung to a dream, to sit in a classroom, to learn, to escape the cycle of despair. One sweltering afternoon, as Amina sat beside her mother near a busy food stall, her stomach knotted with hunger, a woman named Mama Grace, who ran a small eatery, noticed her. Unlike others, her gaze held no pity, only curiosity. "What's your name, child?" she asked softly. Amina, hesitant, whispered her name. When Mama Grace learned of Zawadi's illness and their hunger, she handed Amina a plate of steaming ugali and sukuma wiki. "Eat," she said, her voice kind but firm. Amina, wary of strangers, accepted the food with trembling hands. That evening, Mama Grace returned with water and a bar of soap, asking about Amina's life. The girl poured out her story, the hunger, the lost schooling, the dreams of books and uniforms. Moved, Mama Grace offered a deal. Amina would help clean her stall, and in return, she'd be fed. Amina agreed eagerly, her heart stirring with hope. The next day, Amina swept floors and washed dishes, watching Mama Grace's quiet strength. One day, as Amina traced numbers in the dust, Mama Grace noticed her intelligence. "You learned this from watching a school?" she asked, astonished. Amina nodded, explaining how she'd memorized lessons from a classroom window. Weeks later, Mama Grace gifted her a notebook and pencils, then secured her a spot in a local public school with a second-hand uniform. Amina, in her oversized dress, felt like royalty. She excelled, answering questions with a brilliance that silenced her peers' giggles. But joy was fleeting. Mama Grace's visa to Canada came through, and she left, unable to take Amina. The school fees dried up, and Amina was barred from class, left once more to the streets.
Once you start posting these videos consistently, you can monetize through YouTube AdSense, affiliate links, and even sell sponsorships. The more videos you post, the higher your chances of hitting $50 per day or even more. Remember, all you need is to meet the threshold for monetization. I have included all the prompts, tools, and tips in the description, so copy them and start today. I believe this video has been valuable to you. Do not forget to hit the subscription button and turn the notification bell and comment AI money. Like this video, share to your friends, and I will see you on my next video.